Hello, everyone, and welcome to Paula's Soapbox Live. I am here today with one of my favorite guests. You may remember last year he was on the show talking about the making of the video for his song, Homeward Bound. Well, that video is finally finished. He's going to be releasing that in a few days. And honestly, I can't wait for you guys to see it. It's pretty amazing. So I am pleased to welcome back to the show singer, songwriter, musician, and you know what? Just all around nice guy, Morgan Englund.
Aloha.
Hey, thank you for coming back on. It's been too long.
Yeah.
Okay, so we were talking about this a few minutes ago. You kind of did like a small album release earlier this year.
Yeah.
It's on iTunes, it's on Spotify, it's on Amazon. So what can you tell us about that?
Well, it's all songs that I wrote. I recorded them. With this song, I also recorded 4 other songs. One is called "Drive Myself to Drink," and the hook of the song. The guy that gave me this guitar here, 1974, Martin. Ouch. Gave me the hook to this song. It's called "Gonna Build Me a Bar in the Back of My Car and Drive Myself to Drink." So he goes, write a song about that. So it's a fun song, just about a guy down on his luck, and his wife left him and everything, so he's left with this car, and that's all he's got that she painted pink, and so he just decides, I'm going to build a bar in the back of it and just drown my sorrows.
It's an awesome country song. It really is.
Yeah, so I thought it would be. Then there's a couple other songs. One called "You," which is about my girlfriend, and these songs come from my heart, really, and my experiences in life. And I feel like I've had a lot of experiences, put myself through a lot of experiences. So I have a need to write about them, and that's what I'm doing. So I think these 4 songs will be part of a larger album coming up, because I kind of haven't really publicized it or anything. So, and I like these songs, and I want them to go on a full-length album, which I'm working on now.
Well, you did the video for the one song, Homeward Bound. So have you thought about maybe doing like physical copies of just that song to release?
I have. There's so many hats to wear as a songwriter. You write the song, then if you're a singer-songwriter, then you got to learn the song all over to reinterpret it, as an artist. And then as a businessman or business person, you got to put on that hat and work that way. So what was your original question?
If you were planned on releasing physical copies of the Homeward Bound song.
So like we were talking about earlier, this video is kind of one project, and it doesn't define who I am. I'm not a firefighter songwriter or anything. This was again about an experience and I think we've all had it. You've just given everything. You're just as tired as you could be, and you're on your way home, and you just can't get there fast enough. And whatever you've been doing, whether you've been away for some reason, that feeling of just where sanctuary is, where the people that you love and you get your energy from are. And in the moment that this song came to me, I had that feeling so many times when I left work and was on my way, because you put it away. You put it away, whatever you're doing, soldiers in the, for however long, and then when that you're on your way home, things change, the emotions and the will to get home is just like nothing's going to stand in your way. And, so it's really just about that.
Well, I hate to interrupt the momentum, but I'm going to have you turn your volume on your computer down just a little bit, because I'm getting an echo.
Okay.
Let's see if that helps.
Volume down or my?
Your volume. Okay, let me see. Okay, I'm not hearing that anymore, so I think it's good. Can you still hear me okay though?
I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, and I can hear you too. Okay. I was getting a lot of feedback, so sometimes it's
maybe, okay, got you. Because
sometimes it's a volume issue with, it's you kind of got to fine tune a few things.
Well,
so
I could put some earphones in.
That might help, but it's good right now. So
yeah, but I can barely hear you.
Oh, okay.
I think this will be better for you.
Okay.
I might
Sorry
look
about
weird.
that. It was going to be really hard to do the interview with me hearing my own questions back in my ear.
Right.
Okay, everything good now? Can you hear me okay?
Yeah. I can hear you great.
Okay, good.
No more echo.
No more echo, yes. It's good. Okay, so let's talk about the actual Homeward Bound video. You finally got it finished. I know it took a while.
Yeah.
So what was the concept behind this video?
So the concept, again, I was sitting I was on my way home from work. It was about 6 o'clock in the morning. I just worked 3 days straight, downtown Los Angeles as a firefighter paramedic. Well, and the place I worked we were running 16, 18, 20 plus calls a day. And when you're on the ambulance, you're also transporting these people to the hospital, a lot of them. So it's an intense job, and a one of the busiest stations in the nation, actually. And I'd worked 3 days in a row. I'd probably had 2.5 hours sleep max during that whole time. And I was on my way home. It was a Sunday morning, and it was just, where the guys on the street begging for money and all the traffic and everything, there was nobody. It was just silent and dead. The sun's just coming up, and I'm come up to this red light, and I was just thinking, oh, I just can't wait to get home, see my kids and stuff. And I thought, well, that'd be a good song, Make the Light Turn Green.
Yeah.
So that's part of the chorus, but and that was really it. I just couldn't get home fast enough.
Yeah.
I'd given everything I had to give, emotionally, spiritually, physically. I was just done, and I knew that was the place I needed to be. So
all of this comes out in the video. All of this it kind of plays itself out in the video.
Yeah. My original thought was to have the guy driving home, and as you're driving, you just, things pop into your head, your kids, what you just left. So I wanted it to be where you didn't know what you were watching at first. You're watching a guy driving, and then all of a sudden you see, I don't know, a kid laying, on the street, like hurt or something, and then things that don't make sense. A little girl sleeping in her bed, just different random thoughts that are going through his mind as he's driving home. Yeah. So there were several iterations of it. The original people I was working with, that didn't work out at all. And tried a couple other things. And then I found a really close friend of mine who knew what I was doing and knew I wanted to do this video. Sheila Omi is her name. She's just an amazing woman, really close friend. And a mutual friend said, why don't you guys do it together? So she said, great. And I raised some money for it, so I had some left to do this. She goes, what do you got? We'll make it for whatever you got, and we're going to do the best job we can. So she had the cinematographer, originally from Japan, Hitoshi Inoue, and he's just, you saw it, right?
I saw it.
I mean, it looks like a $20,000.
It's a good video. I'm so excited about the release.
Oh, right on. Thank you. Thanks. So we just kind of started, we did one thing after another. Now his vision was a little different than mine. I told him what I wanted, and instead of kind of still pictures that he saw that the firefighter sees as he's driving home, he made it more film, so that there's scenes, and
like it's like memory flashes.
Yeah, but it wasn't just quite flashes. It was an idea, a scene, leading us somewhere, and so it was difficult for me at first to put the two together. But he was really close. We made some, adaptations and stuff, and we got very close, but it just still wasn't quite something I really wanted to put my name on.
Yeah.
And then he and I sat down for about 8 hours and just tweaked the last little bit. And I'm really proud of it now. I think it's good. I'm really proud of the work that he did too, because he led it in a way that I wouldn't have. I don't have that camera eye that he's got. So I think between the three of us, we came up with something. And then one really difficult part for me was getting to film in the fire department, in the firehouse.
Yeah.
And my relationship, as I didn't want to ever be taking advantage of that or exploiting it in any way. I just wanted to, the song is a gift, because I know what these men and women go through every day. And, I'm beyond honored to have been counted among them. And I lived that where you're just so exhausted all the time. And, they're doing that day in, day out, and they're still there. And I've decided to follow a different path, but it's something that I could give back. It just to sort of, hey, I know what you're going through. And here's just to let you know that, that we're thinking about you. It's more than just risking your life and limb every day, which, as you see in California, I think 3 firefighters in the last couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Died. And one thing you don't hear about is the guys that die driving home because they're so tired. They drive off the. I can't tell you how many times I was driving home and I knew exactly when it was going to hit me, and I have my eyes peeled open, and the next thing I know, my eyes are open, and I'm dead asleep, And so there's a lot more that goes into that job, and I'm sure a lot of other jobs that than just what you hear about or see.
Yeah, I'm sure, and I think your video is a worthy tribute, and I think it's going to touch a lot of people. I think it's going to. I think a lot of people are going to identify with it. So yeah, I really, really can't wait for it to be released. I'm really
cool.
Anxious to see what comes out of all this.
Yeah.
Some people might be surprised, given your acting background, that you're not like the main guy in the video. You're not like the main character in the video. So what was the thinking behind that?
Well, I was thinking, I have to be the firefighter, but I never felt comfortable with that. I have to be the main, the lead and the guy that you're following. But I was never comfortable with that. I've spent the last 20 years being part of a team with no face, and really not bringing attention to myself, especially negative attention. And it's about the organism and not the individual. Any one of us could step in any other job, and if you come out, we're all wear yellow. So I think that's really changed me. And it's made it really difficult to go from that mindset to, hey, look at me, check out my video. Look at what I'm doing right now. It's just, I didn't anticipate that, but it's real. And I think, it's just a transition right now. And I thought, we're going to do this, then we're going to do that. And that's just not the way life works, especially the age I'm at, the time in my life. It's such a transitional, pivotal time. And it was really, I wanted to test myself again, to start over, to do something that fulfills me spiritually, and to also keep giving something back. I just think that's really important. Whatever I'm doing in my life, I want to be able to be productive in society or to help other people in some way. I think that's what we are in essence. You know, it's what else greater could you do than to help somebody in some way? So in my music, whatever I'm going through, I know there are other people going through the same thing. So it's when people are honest. The music that I really gravitate to is honest music, and when somebody's really speaking from their truth, from their heart, and that's what I want to do. I remember I had this songwriter mentor, that I met with, and you know, a lot of my songs are ballads, and they're about things that are kind of intense sometimes. And he said, you know, if you want to be successful, you have to write an up-tempo tune. And I thought about that. I said, but all the stuff the stuff that I put on when I want to hear something that moves me are songs that move me, you know, songs that are maybe not, you know, up-tempo and happy or something. And he said, well, you know, it was a really interesting conversation, because I realized then that, yeah, I'd love to write some fun, happy songs, but I got to write what's in my heart at the moment, or what I'm dealing with at the moment. Yeah. And that's genuine. But as a songwriter, you know, you should be able to I can write a song if you give me a title and you know, if I have a hook and whatever, write the song. But as for me, the songs that are important to me are the ones that come out of my insides.
And ultimately, those are the songs that people are going to identify with.
Yeah, I think those are the ones that will resonate, because we're all human. We're all pretty much the same. We all go through the very similar emotions, different circumstances, but
right. Okay, we're getting a question actually from a viewer.
Who?
He says, it's Kenneth Clark. He says, hi, Paula and Morgan. Do you have a favorite Dylan and Sam moment on Guiding Lights?
Every moment? No, we had it was really great working with her. That's a long time ago.
That's a long time ago.
I just talked to her yesterday.
Really?
I sent her the video to check out, and she was really helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's doing great. Anyway, the question, I can't think of one. Do you have one, Paula?
No, I can't think of one. You can't think of one?
Were you even born then?
Yes, I was born then. I'll tell you off air when I was born, not now.
You know, gosh, I can't think of a specific time, but I know that I really enjoyed working with her, and it was a bummer that they split it up.
Yeah.
Then it got all weird.
Okay, Kenneth says he likes the Florida episodes.
I was gonna say probably something in Florida.
I'm drawing a blank with those. I don't remember that. Maybe I wasn't watching then. I don't know.
Well, it was the year after I got there, because the first day was shooting upstate New York in the summer. It's a beautiful wedding. Yeah. And then the next year we went to Florida. Yeah. And something like maybe the car went over the cliff or something. I don't know.
There were a lot of cars going off the cliffs on Guiding Lights. It happened pretty much every year to somebody.
Yeah. You know, it's funny thinking about Guiding Light. There was a time where it was the end for me, you know, I remember at the end, I had done 5 years. So 3 years, then I re-upped for another 2. And I just had my son. I had a 2-year-old daughter and my son. Yeah. And they never approached me, you know? So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to leave as soon as my contract's up. So about a week or 2 before my contract was up, they said, hey, we need you to come down and sign your contracts for the next 2 years or something. And I said, well, thanks, but I'm actually going to be moving to California. So anyway, we worked it out where I did 6 more months, and they had me get hit in the head and lose my sight. So it was actually fun.
that one I remember vividly. I remember that storyline.
Well, you know what was cool? What was cool was that you end up doing all these scenes about other people just to keep the show going.
Right.
You know, so you're not, and it's just, you want to be doing something important with your life. So, so that actually kind of reinvigorated the role and everything, and really, it was really fun to play that and have some meat to dive into every day, and then end on a high note there.
I think that was probably like some of your best work, in my opinion, on Guiding Light.
Wow.
Because when I think about your time on the show, that is the storyline that I think about.
Wow.
Like
I wish I could remember more of it.
I'm sorry, what?
I wish I could remember more of it.
Look on YouTube and look at some of the old clips. I'm sure they're still on there.
You know what's crazy is a couple of people have posted some songs that I sang on the show that I wrote.
Yeah.
And there was one at a wedding. I don't know whose wedding it was, but it wasn't bad, you know. It was an all right song. Yeah. And I totally forgot I wrote it. I totally forgot that I'd even played it on the show. And then I was just on stage maybe last month or May or something, where with this guy who had just won an Emmy for a song he wrote for a wedding on like General Hospital or something. And like 2 days before he won the Emmy for that. And then I saw that song. I was like, wait, I wrote a song too. I didn't get an Emmy. Well, you know, he's a professional.
Well, you're really a professional too. So.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm going to start, you know, I do. And I've been writing a lot of songs. I have a song that I think would be perfect for, I wrote it inspired by the Olympics.
Yeah.
And given your, you know, like just, you know, even though somebody races maybe 3 times a day or whatever they do in the track meets and stuff like that, it's still, every race focuses down to your training, to giving your best in that moment, you know. And it's not, you may look at it, well, as a runner and they do that every time. Yeah, they do, but that focus to give your best in that moment, which is another thing that we all, you know, can relate to. But it talks, when I was watching the Olympics, this last, the Winter Olympics, if you listen to everyone they interview, and every single one of them talks about the road they traveled to get there, how difficult it was, and how much respect they have for the other people that, you know, you don't get there without perseverance, determination, and getting up when you fall down over and over again. So it's a song about that, and it's my daughter's favorite song. Maybe I'll play a little later.
Yeah.
I'm still working on some of the lyrics, but no, but it's a cool song. I don't know what people think of it, but I'd like to get it. I don't know if I would change some of the words to make it either more general or more specific to something, but I think it could. I really would love to get it as part of, or, you know, some part in the Olympics or during that time when they come up in 2020. So, yeah, exciting.
That's really cool. Yeah, I hope you do play some of that in a little bit. Well, we're not on the subject of the video anymore, but I did want to mention that you are releasing that on the 21st, which is Tuesday. Yeah. So where are you going to release it? On Facebook, YouTube?
On YouTube. On YouTube. You know, and and then and that's really when it's kind of hard to tell people about something that's not here yet. So at least for me. So once it's released, then I really want to get it out there and, you know, say, here, come see the video. And again, you know, I was working with the Fire Foundation, which is, they are an organization that really provided a lot of tools that I used every day. Really important things that make our life a little easier on the job as a firefighter, paramedic. So I thought that would be a great way to support, if, you know, any money comes from this, to put it back into there. Yeah. But they've a lot of stuff's changed over there and everything. So anyway, I told them, they know I have the video, and if we can use it in some way to help them, then we'll do that. But it's a work in progress, as the whole thing has been. I got pretty discouraged a few times with this project, and really didn't know how I was going to pull it back together. Even a few months ago, it's like, where do I go from here? It's not quite there, and I don't want to put it out unless it's what I'm comfortable with.
Yeah.
So, and then I just said, you know what? People have really supported me in this. People put money into it, and by God, I'm going to get this thing done one way or another. So that decision happened, and now I have a music video, and ultimately it's a gift to first responders and people that are out there. I mean, there's all kinds of people in that similar type of thing, but this is, I think first responders encompasses the people that would get this. I think soldiers and things like that would too. People that
and not only them, but their family members as well, I think would have it. Would be able to identify with it. Yeah,
actually, before I'd ever even really recorded the song, I just did it here on my computer. One of my friends at work, a firefighter, his wife stopped by one day, and he said, "This is the guy that wrote that." She's like, "Oh my God!" She goes, whenever I get in his car, I listen to it and I play it and I cry. Like,
you already have a fan.
Yeah. So that was really cool. Any more questions about the video? I'm sure there's some.
No, but I was going to mention something that I think that you did for the Los Angeles Fire Department. Did you help design a drone program for them?
Well, I was part of it. I mean, in the early stages. It was about a year after I left that I heard they actually had it all approved, and they had people working on that. But I had put together a whole training program, the things we needed, and again, that went through different people. It was such a new thing at the time, and there were only a few of us that really were like, "This is an amazing tool. This technology." Once DJI came out with the light bridge technology, it allowed you to see real time a mile away. And I mean, it's just exploded from there. So I think, I don't know how much they used ultimately of what I put in, but it's definitely part of getting it off the ground and getting it, I mean, it's a viable thing. They're using it now. And so I was listening to a brush fire right near me, and on the news, and they said, they just launched the drones for the first time. So I called the captain. I said, "Hey, you got it, sweet," because you have to go through all this government red tape and all kinds of stuff, and nobody done it before. We were going to be the first really big department, and so once we do something, everybody's going to kind of follow that roadmap. But it was wilderness. We had no idea how to do it, so it's pretty awesome that they got it done. But a small piece in the cog, in the wheel,
still,
small cog in the wheel.
I know what you mean. You also had a drone photography business started at one point.
Yeah, right? I was entertaining that, and what I found was that is. It just like any business, it takes.
You have to give 100%.
Putting it all together, and then getting the business, and then doing the business, and then the editing of the video and all that stuff. And I thought, what am I doing? What are my goals? Where do I want to go? To be a drone operator? No. Right. So, do I want to put that time and that much of my life into this right now? And the answer was no. If I'm doing that stuff, I want to be putting it towards music.
Yeah.
So it's similar, but to try to do two things that require everything, I just think it's better to focus on one thing and do it well.
Yeah.
At least for a while.
So speaking of music, I want to mention your bamboo flutes again. Are you getting ready to sell those on your website?
Yeah, I mean, they're I make them. So if anybody wants one, they're welcome to give me a call or yeah, contact me through my website or however. I think I took down the Shopify. You know, I tried that.
Yeah.
I think I'll wait till I got a little more material or things, you know, that people would want to buy. So, but as far as the flutes, yeah. In fact, apparently I missed somebody in sending them a flute.
Oh no!
So she said, I'm still waiting for my flute. What? So I had to pick out some bamboo this week, and it's almost done.
Yeah.
So that's Kathy. It's coming, Kathy. I promise.
It'll be worth it.
I don't know how
I'm sure.
Yeah, I don't know how to. You know, one thing I learned was, especially for women, it's even my brothers. So it's hard for them to get their hands. It takes a minute. So for a woman, I'm gonna make a smaller flute. You know, that they can play, because some of these, you know, the lower the key, the bigger the flute, the longer the flute gets.
Yeah.
So I've done a lot of experimenting over the last 2 years, and I found the best bamboo, I think, that sounds the best and stays on pitch and everything. So yeah, I really love doing it too. It's it's like you're putting part of your, it's very Japanese, you know, you're like putting part of your spirit in the sword that you're making, the flute in this case.
Yeah. Can you make like a magic flute for people who have no musical ability?
These are kind of hard to play because they're side blown flutes. So, you know, if you can't blow into a bottle and make that noise, you're probably not going to be able to play the flute. And then you have to have each finger completely covering the hole so it'll have a clean tone. Yeah. Just takes a minute. That's all. And each flute's different, so I can't put one down and pick up another one and start playing it.
Right? Yeah, these are not like you have to like you do these on a machine or anything. These are handcrafted.
Yeah, they're really, really individual. But they're as you get higher in the notes, they tend to go out of tune a little bit. So you can probably get about an octave and a half out of them, of really right on tuning. But if you're really good, you can make these. Like my brother played this, the Titanic.
I heard that. That was your brother?
Unbelievable.
I didn't know who was doing it, but it was really, really good. It's on the website. It's on morganenglund.com if you guys want to check it out.
Cool.
So
I'll check it out. No, it is. I couldn't believe it was my flute. I also got this. I heard this woman playing a glass flute. I thought, or crystal glass, whatever. Yeah. And I got one, and I was really disappointed. But I was really excited because my flute sounds so much better. Yeah. And this, you know, you would think this is all done, so it sounds great. But I don't know. I really, the bamboo flutes they're a living thing. You just, once you start playing it, you develop a relationship. I know this sounds really weird, but it's true. I mean, you spend some time playing it, and it's like meditating. You're so in tune with the sound you're trying to make, even if it's just one note. You know, as you're just learning, you start to get that sound. You start to play with that sound, and the different things you do to it make it sound differently. And the weather, the humidity, all that stuff plays a factor. Yeah. It's really, really interesting. That's why I like doing it. So.
Yeah, well, they're really cool. You have some videos up of you making them, and so people can find those on YouTube and stuff. And I'm guessing that you'll still put like your personal autograph, like branding on it.
Yeah. So I had these guys, I think they're in Santa Barbara. They made me a brand of my initials. That's what I want, you know, to put on everything. It's just ME, but it's kind of a cool little, I don't know, like calligraphy.
You could put that on like all kinds of like merchandising,
mugs, t-shirts,
hats, you know.
Hats. Yeah. So that's definitely something I want to do. I've been thinking about that for a long time. Yeah. Yeah. So all this stuff's just to come.
Go ahead. Yeah. Well, when we talked last year, you had been trying to learn to play the ukulele. So how is that going?
It's going okay. Hang on. Let me go grab it.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, I don't play it too much, but you know, you got to learn the one song, right? This one.
Yeah.
It's really out of tune. Anyway, you know, the
sounds pretty good to me.
Over the Rainbow.
Yeah.
Israel's, that's such a beautiful song. But I've been playing some of my other songs on it too. So yeah, I'm getting there. It's fun. It's really fun to play different instruments. And I've been working on harmonica too.
Yeah.
And piano.
I know.
And guitar.
And guitar.
Tambourine.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to have to get you some more instruments to learn, because I don't think that you've learned enough.
And bamboo flute.
And bamboo flute. Okay, so would you like to sing something?
Sure.
On the, you know, with the guitar or whatever, harmonica, banjo.
I don't know how it's going to sound for you out there.
It sounds pretty good. I mean, the sound is good.
What song is it you want to hear?
Oh, it doesn't matter. Just pick something.
Okay. Okay, this is a song. It's called Where Did It Go?
Okay.
Lord, I've been so low for such a long time, and I felt in the blackness of my mind. I'm so sick and tired of weeping. I wanna live before I stop breathing. This is a long, lonely road, and people step on your soul. Does it sound all right?
It sounds good, yeah.
A long, long time ago, I had a dream. So I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Where did it go? Sorry. Anyway, that's a little bit of something.
Yeah, it sounded great.
That's a little blues thing I was working on. You want to hear that other one I was talking about?
Yes, absolutely.
It's called Crush It. I step into the starting blocks. Dawn has yet to break. Nothing matters more to me than this upcoming race. Every sinew in my body, every muscle, every bone is poised and taut and ready, begging to explode. Crush it. Give my best one time. Crush it. Till there's nothing left inside. Crush it. Gonna take the chance, risk it all, believe I can achieve. Many times I've wondered if I have what it takes. No one ever told me I would ever see first place. I made it through the lonely times, pushed on past the pain. You can knock me down, but I'll get up again. Crush it. Give my best one time. Crush it. Till there's nothing left inside. Crush it. Gonna take the chance, risk it all, put the chips on me. The weeks, the months, the years, the blood, the sweat, the tears. I step into the starting blocks. Dawn has yet to break. Anyway, there's a last verse to it. But
Morgan, that was awesome.
You like it? Oh, thank you. So you can see, like, it'd be a cool song for the Olympics or something, right?
Totally.
So there's, you want to now? put this song out before, but this is the next one that I'm going to come out with.
Okay.
It's called Red, White, and Blue. Have you heard it?
I don't know that I've heard that one.
I can't hear myself. Well, it's about. Well, I'll sing it for you.
Okay.
But it's hard to sing, so give me a break. Let's see. Jenny, she, and Johnny, they both love the flag, and everything it stood for, every star and stripe. Back behind the bleachers, Johnny took her hand. He said, I hate to leave you, but I hope you understand. Girl, I love you like I love red, white, and blue. I will honor you, pledge my life to be solid and true. Johnny was a soldier, he fought for his beliefs. Jenny, she led protests in her headband and blue jeans. One day she got arrested, she wondered what he'd say, but Johnny always ended all his letters the same way. He said, girl, I love you like I love red, white, and blue. I will honor you, pledge my life to be solid and true. He never even heard the blast that took his good men down. He lost some friends and a part of him is sending him home now. Well, he prays that he's enough for her when he steps out of that plane. She's holding up a sign for him underneath his name. It said, boy, I love you like I love red, white, and blue. I will honor you, pledge my life to be solid and true. Yeah, I will love you. I will love you. Red, white, and blue. Red, white, and blue.
Very
I
nice.
didn't want to blow the speakers out. So
No, it was good.
Yeah.
It was perfect.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you definitely made the right decision focusing on your music.
Well, there's people like you around. I really appreciate it. No, that means a lot, and thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do you have anything that you would like to add before we go? Any like upcoming gigs you want to plug or?
I want to share this video with everybody on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then this song, I feel like the one I just played is appropriate for our time right now.
Yeah.
There's so much division, and you know, we really live in an amazing what our forefathers did, you know, coming here and creating this country, this experiment or whatever, you know, it's pretty amazing if you go back to what their hopes and dreams were for us.
Yeah.
We can carry that forward. So I'm excited to record the song and get this out there too. But right now, I want to focus on this and give something back to all the first responders out there that are still giving it all.
I can't wait. And be sure, if you put it on Facebook or whatever, be sure to tag me in it so I can share it.
I will, for sure.
And
we'll talk about strategy after.
oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Facebook and I'm releasing it on YouTube, and of course, I'll have a link on Facebook. And,
right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, and honestly, if there's anything that I can do to help kind of spread the word, just let me know. Happy to do it. So
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
You've been awesome and really great support, and thank you for this platform and everything.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on. I appreciate it.
All right.
Sharing your talents
Paula.
and everything. So I will send you the link to this interview, and then you can share it if you want to. I'll text you or email you or something. So
excellent.
Okay.
Thanks so much.
All right.
Take
Thank
care.
you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.